Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker song. Man, I needed that vacation. It was nice and quiet. Good to get away from the internet for a while. Still, I suppose I should fire up the old PC here and see what's been going on in the world. I'm sure things were nice and quiet, and there's not anything that's really got. Oh, oh man. Yikes. Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? What's going on? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live from an undisclosed location somewhere here in sunny Central Florida. And how is everyone? I hope you're doing absolutely fabulous. It's great to be back. Yeah. I hope everyone is doing just absolutely hunky dory. Now, the little sketch there before the video, but before the live stream aside, I was here. I was doing stuff. I got about a third of the stuff done that I wanted to do, but I got 3 modules for patron backers and subscribers, which is, if that's a thing you want to do, you can click the subscribe, or not the subscribe, but the membership button down there, and you can become a member of this channel. Or if you see scrolling along the bottom there's information about how you can join the fun over on Patreon. And at the Master Thief levels, that's the $10 a month level, you will receive a first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons adventure, a mini module, if you will. Well, I have the May, June, and now July modules almost all completely done. I have to do cartography for them. I'm going to get that during the week, and then I'm going to shoot those out, and then I'll be caught up. I won't be behind the 8 ball anymore. So thank you all who have been patient, for your patience. Now, we jumped up a little bit because apparently 50 or 60 of you fine folks decided, based on my video about Kyle Brink being given his walking papers from Wizards of the Coast, to join us on this merry escapade of fun that we call the Delver's Dungeon. So thank you all very much. And if you already haven't, please do click that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications, where you can join us every week to talk about classic tabletop role-playing game things. It's not just Dungeons and Dragons. I'll talk to hell. Before we jumped off on vacation, on the 4th of July week, Tim Imholt and I played some Mechton Zeta. We had giant stompy robot fun. Tim and I did that. And now today, this is not my first live stream back, because earlier today, and I will, if anybody's interested, I'll send you the link. Me, Tim, Richard Witters, and the David S. LaForce were all over on Tim's channel talking about how to build a better D&D business model, and that was a lot of fun too. But what we do, folks, around here, my new family members, come on in. Hey, you guys, move up, fill in from the front, fill in from the front. Let's make some room for folks. That's it. Come on in. But if you're just joining us and you're like, okay, well, what does he do? You know, we watched his breaking news video, and it was breaking news. I really, the folks who posted about it on Twitter, thank you so much, because I was able to get this to the YouTube audience. But yeah, so if you're, you know, if you're new and you're wondering, what we do is 5 nights a week, except when I'm on vacation, which is summertime and the holidays. We get together and we live stream. We play tabletop role-playing games. We talk about tabletop role-playing games. We interview people about tabletop role-playing games, okay? So that's the fun that we have on this show. Doc Flamingo, hell, I'm going to go through and I'm going to welcome everybody here. Doc Flamingo, welcome. Robert Phillips, Kabuki Kid, love you to pieces, Kabuki. Shin Chara, RPG Grandma. You're still planning on running away with me, right? Anyway, Michael Mertig, Bob Jester. Am I missing anyone? I don't think I am. Great Old Ones, and Damien 247. So, oh, and Odd Scimitar. Hello. Hi, how are you, Odd Scimitar? Welcome. But so yeah, we, you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on. And before I get into the schedule this week, there is something else I wanted to point out. Oh, Doc Flamingo throwing out the memberships. Thank you, Doc Flamingo. I appreciate that. But anyway, Dungeon Minister has graced us with his presence. I got something happening with Dungeon Minister later this week, but I'm gonna get on the week ahead and the weeks ahead, because there's stuff that's spanning a couple of weeks that I'll get into there. Pardon the Elvis Kung Fu. Hey, ho. Thank you very much. Sunny Red, love me tender. Thank you very much. Anyway, so just before we left for vacation, staycation really for me. But we had heard that Gene Rabe, who is truly one of the pioneers of Dungeons and Dragons, that Gene was very ill and in the hospital, and what really shook me, was now she posted this globally on, this was Facebook. This was not a private message. This was not something intended for family. She posted that she had requested a DNR, which is do not resuscitate. And that is all I'm going to say, because YouTube is YouTube. You can Google what that means. And we all kind of thought the worst. Well, the good news is that the last couple of updates, she seems very cranky and appears to have, at the very least, is coming out the other side of this. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say, oh, she's fine now. You know, she's asking for, you know, anybody wants to come play, you know, flag football with her. That's not what I'm saying. But she has posted up that she's tired. She wants to rest, and thanks everyone for their support. So she's still with us, and that's Jean Rabe. She wrote a not great sequel to Quag Keep, but you know what? When I get finished reading Quag Keep, this is on the back half of summer reading list, and I'll give it a fair shake. Again, I'll see, you know, how it's going. But anyway, so So we wish Jean the best. And yeah, you know what? She is in our thoughts and prayers, at least around here. I've only ever interacted with her a little bit on Facebook. She seems like a very nice, square person. So that is the latest from Jean, and that is the latest TTRPG news. So let's see. RPG Grandma, there's a story there. He's blocked now, so no more bare-chested photos in my messages or constant demands to meet. I need to scroll back up. Picked up a creeper lout this weekend because my dog was lost and he started PMing me being creepy. Pup has found it. Oh, okay. All right. Well, good thing you blocked him. So anyway, let's talk about the week ahead. Now, again, if you have just joined the channel, as I said, and I meant it as no boast, as no idle boast, we play games on this channel. It's not just theory, it's not just discussion, it's not just RPG news as it happens. We play games on this channel. And it's not just something you sit and look at as a museum piece. It's interactive. If you have a question about the game we're playing, put a question in the chat and let us know. All right? Why do you use a D6? What are segments? Why does charge go before initiative? Why is armor class lower is better? Any stuff like that. If I don't answer it, one of my players might, and if they don't, we might have somebody in the chat who knows. Okay? I don't just want it to be something where you guys sit and stare and decide whether or not, I want you to learn something about the play of the game that we're playing. First edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is what we play on Tuesdays. And we have an ongoing campaign and an absolutely amazing group of players. Now, I'm going to address our groups of players, whether it is on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday nights. Guys, we don't do table reads. We don't do story arcs. We don't do character development. What you see is actual play. It is actually RPGs being played out. Guys, we could sit down tomorrow. Hey, Mark Morrison got the free membership. And just pow, total party kill. 5 minutes in. 5 minutes in, and we're rolling up new characters for everybody, okay? Nobody has plot armor in my games. I don't fudge dice. You guys see the die roll that goes out with our little on-screen digital die roller. What you see is what happens. Okay? So unlike maybe some shows that have critical differences between my role-playing game, this is actual tabletop gaming play. So that is how we do it. Let's see. Hey, Lord Coron. Hello. Welcome. And happy anniversary. 5 months a member over on YouTube. Want to explain that OD&D handed out XP and treasure plus monster level divided by PC level. That is correct. AD&D introduced a different system to OD&D. So you are correct, RPG Grandma. That we should put that up on the screen. The Wheeling Dragon. Hello, Iron Caster. Clang, clang. Mark wants the executive bathroom key. Gosh, we'll get you a key card. Hello, Chris. Good to see you. But thank you, RPG Grandma, for pointing that out. That is a very salient point. Robert Phillips, remember the water spiders. Just exactly so. So anyway, so Tuesday nights we play AD&D. Wednesday nights, Kyle's driving. I don't know what's going to happen. We may have enough people to play. Let me tell you, so I get a lot of people ask me, they say, I want to play one of your games. I want to play AD&D. I've never gotten a chance to play AD&D. Guys, it's real simple. Kyle has set the criteria. Kyle's my co-host, okay? I let Kyle do this sort of thing. And Kyle has said, if you're a member or a patron for as little as $1 a month, hit us up on the Discord. He's been trying to get an AD&D surface hex crawl going for many weeks now. For many, many weeks. His campaigns tend to run about 10 sessions. So if that's something that interests you, and you're a patron or a YouTube member, for even the minimum, hit him up, let him know. But it's going to be Wednesday nights. It's going to be Wednesday nights. Now Thursday, so that's Wednesday. Thursday, we have a guest. Stephen Radney McFarland is going to be here. Now, Stephen, you might not know his name, but you should. Okay, Stephen's going to be here. We're going to talk about all sorts of juicy insider information about his time at Wizards of the Coast, projects he's working on, classic TTRPGs if he wants to, just whatever takes the mood. It's kind of an open forum for Stephen to just come on and chill, because I like having chill people on the show. Now, Friday, we're back to rolling dice, because Friday, boys and girls, Friday, we're going to be playing Gamma World First Edition. That's right. We left on a cliffhanger. The survivors were squared off against a hisser in a forgotten fallout shelter. What's going to happen? You'll just have to tune in and find out Friday as we do an actual play. Bob Jester, 11 months. Wowee. Yeah, tune in for that actual play of Gamma World on Friday. Saturday. See how things just don't stop around here? Saturday the 20th. Nerd Council of Doom will be hosted here, and we will have myself and Dungeon Minister and Yang Yan Zhao. We're going to talk about important, dorky, nerdy topics for you guys of the month. We've always got a lot of cool things to rap about, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'll hold forth a little bit more on the Kyle Brink termination. As we now know, it was a firing. Light Main, greetings. It does reset? I didn't realize that, Bob. Have I been doing membership for that long? Because I know you support me over on Patreon too. At least I think so. Unless you shifted it all over here. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what's happening Saturday. Sunday, I'm taking a breath. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we progress much as we have. But Thursday is most important. You don't want to miss Thursday. And I'm going to tell you why. Thursday of next week, not 4 days from now, okay, 11 days from now, Thursday of next week, we have got the one and only Robert J. Kuntz himself on this channel. We're going to be talking to one of the godfathers of all Dungeons and Dragons. And let me tell you guys something. And I don't want to put too fine a point on this, and I don't want to sound unhappy. That's right, Bob Robillard. There's damn few of those people who were there, right there, in that basement, in Gary Gygax's game room, crammed in amongst the boxes of insurance forms and the shoe repair equipment, standing around that sand table. So many of them gone. Gary, Dave, Jim. But Rob is going to be here. And I want you guys to bring your best historical questions, things that you want to know the answer to. I want you guys to bring it. So we are going to be here Thursday of next week. That is July 25th, 2024. Rob's going to be here. And I'm excited about that. I'm nervous as all get out about that. Even though Rob and I have always gotten along. So yeah, July 25th. And I will be going full court press on promoting that between now and then, now that the cat is out of the bag, now that I've given you guys an actual date. So I'm hyped about it. Bob, don't worry. You know these live streams stay up, my brother. So don't worry about it. You will be able to catch it in the post ex facto. So I'm hyped, and I hope you guys are too. But it doesn't end there. Friday, of course, we'll be playing some Gamma World again. Saturday night, there's a very special, important announcement. Now, I don't want to tip your hands. I don't want to tip my hand too much to you guys. Nobody knows it. Like, nobody associated with the show knows what I'm doing on the 27th of July. And if you're wondering why I'm doing it on the 27th of July, well, that just happens to be the birthday of one E. Gary Gygax. A most auspicious day, would you not agree? Roy Goodman, hello. Roy, I will show you the life of the mind. Oh, Ironcaster, you should stop by on the 25th then, man. But let me tell you, Kabuki, happy birthday. Happy birthday a day early to Kabuki. The 27th of July, I will be making an announcement. And I will be throwing down a gauntlet to you, my fellow AD&D fans. Because I'm going to do something. I had done this a couple of times in the past. But I think now more than ever on... I don't want to give away too many details. But July 27th, you want to be here. It'll be at night. It'll be in the evening. Okay? You will probably not miss out not being here, but you're going to want to be here. And I get it that a lot of people don't like I missed that live stream. I'm just going to skip through and see if he says anything interesting or he has a mental breakdown on the air or anything like that. Okay. I get it. This is going to be one you're going to want to be all the way here for. Trust me. This is one you're going to want to be all the way here for. All right? Don't miss out. Because it may very well apply to you specifically. You, might be the person that it applies to. And you're sitting there behind your computer or looking at your phone or maybe sitting on your couch and you've got me pulled up on your streaming device or whatever. And you're like, he means all of us. I might mean you, though. Yes, you. I'm pointing at you. Specifically, the one person I'm pointing at right now. You could very well be the person that the announcement's all about. I don't know yet. There's a criteria. All right. When I announce it, I think it's going to be something that we can all get our hands on. I'm going to hope that you guys can help me. That's all that's all I'm going to go into that. Oh, the dungeon minister's been into the sacramental wine. Sit you down, Father. Bless you. But anyway, so don't miss the next couple of weeks, because it's gonna be so cool. I've got such cool stuff lined up for you guys. So I have puppies. I don't. Ultra American TTRPGer, hello, good to see you and good to be seen by you. How the heck are you, my friend? So anyway, yeah, the next couple of weeks, guys, are going to be just, to quote the man, Ron White, shoe buddy. They are going to be super busy. And so I'm excited about the opportunities that are laid forth in front of me, that you guys have created. So anyway, moving right along. So we were talking about a little bit about the thing, you know, what went on as far as TTRPG news. Let me ask you guys something. I have zero chance of this actually. Like I have a better chance of getting Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin to appear on my live stream show than I would the new executive vice president of product development for Dungeons and Dragons at Wizards of the Coast. But is that something that you guys would be interested in seeing? Is that something that I can guarantee nothing? You know, it's not even a little tiny case but I was just wondering, what if I reached out to them? What if I reached out to Wizards of the Coast and just said, hey, I want to interview you for the show? Because right now, Mobius, I get Plant and you'll be here. Absolutely. Because right now, there's just a blank slate. Okay. And there have been some wordy words said by the Wizards of the Coast person. Everybody's like, no, Robert Plant. Get Robert Plant on the show. Guys, I'm probably not going to be able to get either, all right? But all right, let's just go ahead and throw a dumb idea. If it was a 5% chance of getting him on and a 95% chance of getting the Wizards person on, and a switch flip determined which one we were trying for, which way would you want me to go? Would you want a 5% chance of him being on here or a nearly guaranteed chance of her being on here? That's the question. Compromise and get a house plant. Okay, there's a good question. Do I think the change would be good? I don't know. Michael, I don't know. Um, the people making a case for for me reaching out to Robert Plant, it's pretty strong. Do I think the change at Wizards of the Coast will be good for D&D? Um, so I talked to when I was on today on Tim Imholtz's live stream. Um, the subject of what could I do to fix Wizards of the Coast's Dungeons and Dragons issue came up, and I, you know, I don't want to detract from the video. You guys should go watch the video, but um, I hate to say what I'm about to say, Michael, because oh my gosh, this kind of thing always tends to blow up in one's face. It can't be worse. I mean, what are they going to do? Reintroduce 4th edition? Or God forbid, 2nd edition? I got my eyes on my subscriber count on another computer. I'm just going to start watching it wind down now that I've thrown that out there. But all kidding aside, all gentle ribbing aside, gentle ribbing for her pleasure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that they could make it quote unquote worse. Now, see right there. There's this Thursday's guest. Now, see, be nice. Be nice. Looking forward to seeing you here, Stephen. But no, I feel like any changes that they might enact could be good or could be bad. For 5th or 6th edition players. There's a tiny little thing that they can do that will fix D&D for me and them forever. Well, it's 2 tiny little things. It's 2 tiny little things. And the first is, well, take original, 1st edition advanced, basic in all its many varied forms, 2nd edition, and put them all under the auspice of the OGL or Creative Commons. Tell guys like me, you can sell modules that say Dungeons and Dragons or Advanced Dungeons and Dragons on them. Here are our standards and practices. Give us 6.5% of what you make. Good luck. I'd do it. I'd absolutely do it. YouTube takes 30% of my money. So like if any of you were to super chat me right now, YouTube takes 30% of that. Patreon takes a percentage. And then I get it processed through PayPal. PayPal takes some of that. Good for you, 2470 QWERTY. So, honestly, all they'd have to do is just say, yeah, you can publish AD&D stuff. Go right ahead. And the other thing is take those stupid disclaimers off. That's the place I'd be willing to give ground. But that's it. That's it. There's your fix. There's your we just opened a door and money fell out on us fix. I mean, yeah, people can buy the modules and people can buy the core rules for all editions of D&D print on demand. All editions of D&D. Except for Holmes Basic, which is a tragedy. I don't even think they sell that on drive-thru by itself, which just is a shame. All you yahoos out there getting all love fest about 4E, I ain't going that far down that rabbit hole. Anyway. So they're 90% of the way to the solution. And all they have to do is just take that one next step. Would I love Wizards of the Coast and, become an influencer and go to their little meet and greets and, save my pennies for Gen Con and shill for them, and you'd see me with a multicolored ampersand, dragon ampersand shirt that's got all the evil dragon colors. No, I wouldn't. I sure wouldn't. But I would think they were serious about keeping everything. There was a time period, and I've said this before, when there were 3 editions of D&D being sold by TSR. 3 editions, 3 separate sets of D&D rules. And myself accepted, apparently. The existence of them didn't damage TSR's finances. They had something for everybody. AD&D, basic Dungeons and Dragons, and original D&D. They still had OCE white box sets they were selling in the Dragon, or in the Your Gateway to Adventure catalog. If you guys don't believe me, I'll scan that. I'll scan the Your Gateway to Adventure catalog and show you 3 versions of D&D. Modules for 2 of them. I mean, hell, if you want to count Supplement 2, Blackmoor with Temple of the Frog, the first module that TSR ever published. Well, the first pack-in adventure, I should say. It's not a separate module unto itself. Then they had modules for all 3 D&Ds. All right? It's absolutely doable. I'm gonna let Steven tell the story when he's here. I'm gonna let Steven tell the story when he's here. Jimmy Invictus, up top, brother. Good to see you. But Steven brought the heat to Wizards of the Coast, much in the same way that I'm suggesting it now. Similar thought, similar idea line, but I'm going to let Steven tell that story. Now, fortunately, I think maybe better heads are there now. I don't know. I'm not going to steal his thunder. We're gonna talk to him on Thursday. David Brown says, I just want to go back in time and hang out at the Playboy Club with Gary. Well, what's interesting is that lovely hotel in Lake Geneva, the Grand Geneva, was a Playboy resort. So Gary didn't have to go far to get into the Playboy. He went all the way to California to hang out with Hugh Hefner. Hugh would have come to Lake Geneva. Actually, I don't know at the time if... no, it was because Tracy Lesh was a DJ in the disco when it was a Playboy club and knew a bunch of the bunnies. Another story we're going to have to get. Now, something else, and this just popped into my head. There is something really big coming. I would say big in a different way from the announcement I'm doing on the 27th. But Tim Imholt and I are working on something. It's gonna be like half on his channel and half on my channel. It's videos, it's D&D related. That's as much as I'm gonna say, but it's gonna be huge. So just stay tuned for that. I can't really say anything until Tim says I can say something about it. David Brown says it was for elites from Chicago. If you're referring to the Playboy Resort in Lake Geneva, yeah, I mean that sure, that absolutely tracks. No, I never played Dragon Dice. Now it's interesting because Jim did not tell me this story. But Jim did tell the story. The Dragon Dice was actually gangbuster successful for TSR. Moderately gangbuster successful. But TSR, like, in a way that only Lorraine Williams managed TSR could do, managed to screw it up. They bought the game from the guy and printed actual tons of those Dragon Dice up. And then turned around and told book retailers and hobby shops, yeah, we only sell these by, I don't know, like the pallet or something like that. If you guys want to order these in, yeah, we're not doing like, you know, we'll ship you a spinner rack full of them. I have heard about that, Robert Phillips. I've heard that very thing. But yes, it did sell like crazy. But again, TSR insisted that people buy just gobs and gobs and gobs of stuff at. Oh, now you tell me Robert Plant was there, Stephen. Well, no, Paradise City is by Guns N' Roses is actually about Lake Geneva, if you can believe that. Oh, knickknack, that's very cool. I believe that would be a hold person spell, Jimmy. But anyway, yeah, Dragon Dice was yet another one of those things that TSR managed to flub. It was moderately successful. People liked it, and their reaction was to literally try and force shovelfuls of it down retailers' throats. So, anyway, but to kind of circle all this back around to what I was saying, to really knick-knack, I do not mind you doing that. The problem is YouTube in the chat bar doesn't let it go through. But I will pull it up real quick if people want to see it. I mean, honestly, if I thought I could get the person, the new D&D product manager from Wizards on the Coast on the show, I would be entirely polite to them. My ire at WotC aside, I would tell them in advance, look, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that you might find uncomfortable in the sense of about the future of D&D and the future of the past of D&D. I wouldn't be up here pulling punches like, what's more important, stick-to-itiveness or determination? What makes a great manager? No, they wouldn't get questions like that. You can rest assured. I would not softball it with them. Very few people I'll softball things with. Oh, it's just dragondice.com. Okay, here we go. I'll just share this up real quick. Ask him about the C-suite bathroom key. Yeah, it's just dragondice.com. And they have some lovely sets. I mean, what do you like? Roll them and get certain outcomes? I may have to get into it. Ah, Steven! Steven's trying to make my head catch on fire. How can D&D synergize with the current zeitgeist? I think it's 92% more synergized. Let's stick a pin in this and circle back around to it. The pain! Corporate speak, man. You build armies with dice and attack your opponent's armies. It's a lot of fun. Well, and there's an app too. The dice, I got to tell you, looking at the dice, they look cool. They really wouldn't have any use, I think, beyond just the game, unless there's like normal pips on some of them. Oh, I see the 8-sider and their little illo up in the corner actually has numbers on it. Hey, Matthew Sherman. Thank you for stopping by. Maybe I'll give this a look. I mean, it is old school. It's not like, this is just some brand new thing. I'll have to give it a try. This does look neat. Let's see, their boilerplate is here. Dragon Dice is SFR's core product. We are constantly working to create a quality game everyone can enjoy. Dragon Dice was originally created by Lester Smith and produced by TSR in 1995. After several years, TSR, now owned by Wizards of the Coast, had put Dragon Dice on hold to work on other projects. In October of 2000, SFR Inc. purchased the rights to Dragon Dice and continues to support and create new products for the game. Good for them. I think that's wonderful. I think that's the kind of story I like reading about. And Esoteric Order of Nerdity, excuse me. Hello, how are you? I think it would behoove me. A player map? What is this? Oh, map of players. I getcha. I getcha. Like the old mapping the dungeons, but with scripting tools. I think it would behoove me to try this out. Perhaps I will. Perhaps I will give it a shot. And I mean, worst case scenario, I got a bunch of funky dice, right? Oh no, the horror, funky dice. Not fair enough, Lightning. Ultra American, I vaguely recall you saying that you had gotten one Gamma World. Well, that's awesome. They are at conventions. I'm not too far. Yeah, I am pretty far from Chicago. Any game I run in a city or town, I try to include my use of my poker dice. I have Is it over here? Somewhere around here. I have a set of poker dice. Um, and I'm glad I have them. Who remembers here in the back of the Dungeon Master's Guide, there's a whole section on gambling and slot machines and how you could use poker dice to run slot machines, which the idea of a slot machine being, man, I may have to stick an entire arcade, including slot machines, in my Castle Greyhawk, in my own homebrew Castle Greyhawk, if anyone ever ends up adventuring there again. Does Bill have a guitar? No, Bill does not have a guitar. Bill does not know how to play a lick of guitar. I do not have a guitar. There was about 3 months when I wanted to play, and it just never came together. Now, I'll tell you guys a fun story. Well, actually, I'm going to let him tell it the next time he's on if he wants to tell it. But Tim Imholt has a Billy Gibbons autographed Gibson guitar, and that's all the details I'm going to give you guys. If he wants to tell that story, I'll let him. No, I don't think I'd put Sig machines in there. Actually, come to think of it, I got a Basher Car Arena on what? Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. There's a Basher Car Arena on one level of my Castle Greyhawk dungeon. Basically, it's these little wedge-shaped one-person tanks that you drop a was it a silver piece? Anyway, you drop it in, and it's just got two tillers and a couple of a couple of the pull safeties on the tillers, and then switches on top, and each tank has like this shield on an arm that can protect it from the front arc, and this spring arm on the side that's got a mace mounted on it, and you just roll up to your opponent and you push the button, and it bashes your opponent. And if you do X amount of damage, your basher car stops working until the match is over, until the last cart survives, and then they magically roll back to the starting place and open up, and you can get out. But of course, in classic, dungeon ways, if you're dumb enough to get out onto the course, all sorts of fun stuff can go wrong. Hey, Jay Tyler, 64, and still rock a guitar. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Is an ammo vending machine. Like an arrow vending machine, maybe. No, I'm going to have to expand the arcade not just to be the basher cars. I think the wildest guitar story I've ever heard or seen was, and it was on Pawn Stars, which I know that, if you rolled up in there with like a wood grain OD&D set signed by Gary and Dave, right? They wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, the camera guys are right over here. Come right over here and we'll film this for the show. Arrangements would be made for that to be on the show, right? But I did see this on Pawn Stars, and I thought it was the neatest thing in the world. A guy brought in Mary Ford's Gibson Les Paul. Now, if you don't know who Les Paul and Mary Ford are, Les Paul invented the electric guitar. And they asked him how much he wanted for it, and he said $100,000. Taped on the back of it was the last set list she had when she used that guitar. And in the case were plenty of authenticating notes, handwritten notes from her, handwritten notes from Les Paul. And they actually I think it basically came down to like the most he could do was like 55. And he like tried to talk him up to 90 and he couldn't, and he came up, and it was just kind of back and forth, but he could never. Yes, someone brought in Mary Ford's Les Paul. And there was even a little bit of damage to it that had been fixed by Les Paul. The jack had gotten broken, and the veneer had split, and it had been painted over with clear lacquer in that spot. So, yeah, that's that was just kind of a mind blower. But the guy they brought in to authenticate it, I mean, imagine if they brought me in. Imagine if they brought me in and they were like, "Hey, Bill, is this really a wood grain OD&D set?" I wouldn't just stand there with like, "Yeah, probably." I'd be like, "You know what? I have these cotton gloves. I would surely like to leaf through it carefully." And I would do that. I would be extremely careful with it. So this guy said, I would be remiss if I didn't ask if I could at least play it. And yeah, he got to do a little chicken picking on Mary Ford's Les Paul. So anyway, that's that. Well, guys, it's good to be back. I'm really happy. Like I said, I didn't get as much done on my vacation as I wanted. I got maybe a third of what I wanted to do done. Hello, Joe Kaufman. I wanted to paint a bunch. I wanted to paint minis. I wanted to do some more stuff around the office. Hello, Off-Grid Grognard. Mark Morrison, hello. But I just didn't get around to it. Yeah, Michael Dale, we're probably going to wrap up here in just a few minutes. But it is wonderful to be back. And so, David, if you're talking to me, I have looked through them. I will get back to you about that. But anyway, Bob Jester, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the membership gifting. I hope you all get that and can all become members. Bob Jester with the big gift. I'm going to stick that right up there as I wind down. I'll stick around for a few more minutes. I really appreciate that though, Bob. So I wonder who got them. Who all just got given. Now, when you gift a membership, like it goes out randomly, so he's not like picking people. Yeah, Michael, if you scroll all the way back to the start of the, David Brown got one. David Mills! I have to say that because it's all caps. You know what I did do? I got the closing credits are finally reorganized. There were a couple of duplicates, a typo or two, and then there were some folks who have just moved on and they are no longer patrons or members, and that's fine. I'm not shaming anybody, but their names were still in the credits, and I wouldn't want them to feel like, oh crap, I can't anymore, So guys, never feel that you have to, but I'm truly and surely appreciative of it, guys. all of your support is wonderful. We're at 6189 on the subscribertron. I'm looking at it right over there, and I'm really, 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 really just head over heels about that. So anyway, I was saying, Michael, yeah, if you go back to the beginning of the live stream and watch the little opening skit that I did, you'll see that I agree that things slightly fell apart. You checked last Monday for the stream until you remembered vacation. Aw, he waited for me. So a great week is ahead of us, guys. AD&D tomorrow, Kyle on Wednesday, Stephen Randy McFarlane on Thursday, Gamma World on Friday, the Nerd Council of Doom on Saturday. We start the whole process up again on Monday, and Rob Kuntz is on next Thursday, and next Saturday, a huge announcement that you don't want to miss. I'm going to stretch my legs and walk Mr. Zeus before I go off and play some first edition AD&D. So let me just tell you what I always like to say, because it's 100% true. Guys, I love you all. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Doc Flamingo for the gifted membership. Thank you, Lord Corion and Bob, for being members for so long. And Bob, thank you so much for the gifted memberships that you did tonight. I am going to get out of here now. Again, everybody, I appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow night, and we're going to play some first edition AD&D. And who knows? You guys just might run into some owl bears. Love you all. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks,